I would tell Jesus, like, I had one prayer. Jesus, please help me to go back to school. That was my prayer. And I did that every day.
What follows is the miraculous story of Father Bomukama Denis, who is from a small village in Uganda. His only prayer as a poor child was to be able to go to school, something we take for granted. His faithful prayer and persistence took him on a miraculous journey to follow where God led him. He was a boy whose father died of AIDS when he was 3, and he went on to defeat insurmountable obstacles of poverty, the AIDS epidemic, scarcity of the basic needs of food, water, and clothing, and not only went to school, but he excelled and became a priest and earned a master's degree. He has now built a school for orphans of any religion and has never forgotten his prayer to be able to go to school. His mission to help children in the remotest villages in Uganda is growing and continues to give hope and support to those who are most vulnerable. He was called to be a priest of divine mercy and now works with Pat Polachek at the foundation of Jesus the Divine Mercy, who I interviewed in the previous podcast. Welcome to the Miracle Hotline podcast. My name is Dino Pandolfo and I am your host. Everyone has experienced a miracle at some point in their life. Maybe you have prayed for a miracle, or maybe you are in desperate need of help. When a miracle happens, it is overwhelming, amazing, and you are so grateful for the gift God has given you. This podcast gives you the opportunity to share your miracle story so that others may believe and have hope, and it will encourage them to keep praying in difficult times. This show examines miracles. It includes first-person accounts, interviews, and investigations of the most credible and amazing miracle stories. You can tell us about your miracle by leaving a message at 412-446-0330 or visiting miraclehotline.com. We may play your message or interview you on this podcast. Okay, so Father Bomukama, can you describe to us your miracle? Tell us the whole story of what happened.
Just to begin with, I'm a Reverend Father Bomukama Denis. I'm from Uganda. I'm the last born in my family, a family of 8 children. My father, died when I was 3 years old.
Oh gosh.
My mother took care of me as a young boy. She was a housewife. She took care of me with the 7 of us. Being the last born and being the youngest, my mother would take me to church every day.
Yeah.
Because she was the president of Legion of Mary. So would go every day for morning masses, would go for rosaries together. I didn't know what I was doing, but I was following my mom. So as time went on, I loved being an altar boy.
Yeah.
That was at 6 years old.
3 years old?
That was at my local 6 years old.
6 years old, okay.
Yes. We had Italian priests who were serving at our local church. They did not know our local language, so they used to love me to hear me talk the local language.
Okay.
So I helped them to pronounce the local language, most of the words in my local language. So they loved me as a young boy and as an altar boy. For the first time, they drove me in a car, like I'd never been driven in a car.
Oh, really?
and I didn't know how it looked like. So that was the first surprise, like to be in a car. So I grew up like that until I was 7 years. The Italian priests took me to school because we didn't have money at home to take me to school. So they offered to take me for the first stage of education here in Uganda. I was taken for 7 years. That was elementary school, primary in Uganda. So when I finished, one of the 2 priests left because they were too old, left our parish, and I had nobody to take care of me as far as education was concerned.
Yeah.
So my mother told me to always go to church, tell Mother Mary, and tell Jesus that I needed a miracle to be in school because the priests who were educating me had left.
Oh, wow.
So I kept an altar boy, but not in school anymore.
Yeah.
So
And
one day,
how old were you at this point? You had gone to school from like 6 years old to 13 up around? Is that what?
yeah, I was 13.
Okay.
Yes. So from 13 to 14, I was not in school
Okay.
because I didn't have anybody to pay my fees, my tuition.
So in Uganda, it's not like in the US we have public school for everybody. In Uganda, you have to pay extra or else you just don't go to school. Is that correct?
Oh yes.
Okay.
In Uganda, you pay for your education.
Okay.
So the state does not pay for anybody's education.
Okay.
So what I did like my mom told me. Every day I would go before the Blessed Sacrament, and I would tell Jesus, like, I had one prayer: Jesus, please help me to go back to school. That was my prayer.
Yeah. And that's simple.
And I did that every day.
So in school, were you learning English? Were you learning Italian? Or were you learning in your own language, just, math and different things that you learn in elementary school?
We're learning English.
Yeah.
We're learning mathematics, numbers and figures.
Right.
We're learning basics in science and religious education.
Okay. So was it a Catholic school then, or?
Yeah, it was a Catholic school.
I see. Okay. And how far from your town, your village or your town was it to get there?
6 kilometers. So I would walk 6 kilometers to school.
Okay. So you were still living at home when you were going to school. You would just have to walk 6 kilometers, which is about 3 miles, a little less than 3 miles, something like that?
Like 2.5 miles.
Okay.
Yes. So after 2 years, the first miracle happened.
And this is while you were praying to go back to school.
Oh yes. I was praying to go back to school.
For 2 years, you were not in school, but you were going to church every day. You were still an altar boy, and you were praying that simple prayer, please, Jesus, let me go back to school. Is that?
Let me go back to school. That's my daily, just like my mom told me.
Yeah.
Because she always told me, I don't have money, but Jesus will provide.
Yeah.
So, and because I loved school, I kept on telling Jesus, please, let me go back to school. So there was a priest who had come to confirm. He had come to administer the sacrament of confirmation. He had been given the faculty by our bishop.
Okay.
Because our diocese was too big to be administered by all the priests, like the priests were few. So you would hardly get a priest. So this priest came, found me at church, I was sweeping the church.
Yeah.
Because I was an altar boy.
Right.
So I used to sweep the church on a Saturday for Sunday. And the priest asked me, young man, what are you doing here? Then I told him, I'm an altar boy. Every Saturday I have to come here, prepare for Sunday. I sweep the church so that it is clean by Sunday.
Yeah.
And he was impressed by what I was doing.
Right.
Then he told me, are you in school? Asked me if I was in school. Then immediately I told him, no, I would love school, but my mother and I don't have tuition to be in school.
Yeah.
Then he asked me, have you finished elementary education? Then I said, yes, I finished, but I don't have tuition to take me for secondary education. Then he asked me if I was willing to go to a far school from home,
Oh, different school.
a different school. Then
Yeah.
I told him, I'm okay as long as it's a school.
Yeah.
He told me he would come back in another week for Mass the following week and he would take me.
Wow.
So I thought, like, I didn't believe him. I thought
Right.
he was just giving up.
Yeah.
When I went and told my mom at home, my mom told me, yes, believe in him because he's a man of God and you have been praying for that. So I remember the following day, I like, when I went to the Blessed Sacrament, I told Jesus, is it true Father is coming to take me? I was asking, is it true Father is coming to take me to school? But of course, I didn't get an answer.
Yeah.
Then I would say, okay, let me wait for Father to take
Yeah.
me. So I washed my clothes. I think I had 2 pairs of shirts and I didn't have shoes.
Wow.
Then I had a pair of shorts. That's what I had.
Yeah.
So the priest came on a Saturday, found me at the parish doing the same work. And he told me, he asked me if I was ready. I told him, yes, I'm ready. Then he asked me where my things were that I was supposed to go with. I had a small polythene bag.
Yeah.
Then I said, these are my things. He said, no, you cannot go to school with only that. That's. Then I told him that's all I have.
Yeah.
He was, I think, in his 70s. He was so much touched when he heard my story because he began to ask me why I did not have clothes. Then I narrated to him that I had nobody to buy them for me.
Yeah.
He was so much touched. He took me to a supermarket, did shopping for me, took me to a school which he owned. Like he had started the school for the orphans.
Oh, so it was his school.
It was his school and he was educating many orphans from that school.
Wow. What was the name of the priest then?
Oh, the priest died. He was a missionary priest, a Combon missionary priest.
Yeah.
He was called Father Pasqualino.
Oh, okay. So he was Italian
Yes.
also.
Yes. I was in that school for 4 years.
Wow.
A certain priest also saw me there. I was very active in all the church movements.
Yeah.
Asked me if I wanted to go for the seminary training to be a priest. I told him no. I said, no, I don't want to be a priest because I just want to study and help my mom at home because she's a poor lady. I want to be there for her.
Yeah.
So I finished high school. Then after high school, the Combon missionaries had started a hospital called Combon Hospital in my village.
Can you spell that? What is it called? Comborn?
Combon missionaries.
How do you spell that?
Comboni.
Comboni.
Yeah, named after Bishop Comboni.
Okay, so he was another Italian priest or bishop.
Yes.
Comboni. Okay, I got you.
I asked to volunteer in that hospital after my high school. As I was volunteering in the hospital, there were so many patients coming. I was taking the patients to the doctors, arranging their files, the HIV/AIDS patients. So my work was to welcome them, take them to the doctors, arrange their files, and do a little counseling for them, which I did for 1 year. While I was there, my vocation to the priesthood comes from that point. I was in that hospital for 1 year, attending to the HIV patients, doing counseling, and taking them to the doctors. And there were so many.
Yeah.
Among them were children, young boys and girls of my age, married couples, old men and women who looked depressed,
Yeah.
so like they had lost hope in everything.
Right. And what year was this around?
That was around 2008.
Okay.
What I did, I would listen to them because I didn't have solutions to them
Right.
for them. I would listen to so many stories which were hurting.
Yeah.
Like there were so many stories how some girls were raped,
Yeah.
forced into marriages because of poverty,
Yeah.
and they contracted HIV from there. How many of them were thinking of committing suicide.
Wow.
So as I was praying to God, I remember before the Blessed Sacrament, I asked God, how can I help all these people?
Yeah.
Me how I can help all these people because I wish I could help them. As I was there, a voice tells me, if you became a priest, you would be a father of all.
Yeah.
You would listen to all of them. You would help them. You would pray for them. Because I was a young boy, by then I would pray, but I didn't know what to do. I would listen to them. I didn't know what to tell them. I
Yeah.
would tell them also, God will help you out. So, but I was touched by all those experiences.
Yeah.
So that's where my vocation came from.
Wow. So working with all these people that had AIDS and were sick and were depressed, that you through your counseling, that you were inspired to ask God how you could help them, and He answered your prayer and your request, and you heard the voice of God then, right? That's what that was.
Yes. So I thought of becoming a priest there and then.
Yeah.
And I didn't stop. I went to the diocese, my diocese. I went to the vocations director, told him that I would like to join. I would like to be a priest. He told me what I needed to do. I filled the forms and all that. Then I was admitted to the major seminary for philosophy. In our seminaries in Uganda, still you have to pay tuition for yourself.
Yeah.
So as I was there, my first 3 years of philosophy, because I told the vocations director that we didn't have money at home, because the priests had gone back to Italy, like I was not in touch with them, I didn't have a phone, like there were no emails.
Yeah.
So like I lost contact with them.
Right.
The vocations director admitted me and told me that he would pay my fees, my tuition for 3 years.
Wow.
Yeah, so I went for philosophy in Katigondo Major Seminary. It is found in Uganda, named after St. Thomas of Aquinas. I did very well.
Yeah.
After 3 years, I was taken for parish experience for 1 year. Then I was admitted for theology. Another miracle happens here. I remember I shared my story on Facebook. I don't know, I know it is God who brought that gentleman. He was from Australia. He sent me a friend request. He was called Ryan Pockney from Australia. At first I thought he was a con man because like he sent me a friend request. I accepted it. Then he told me, can I help you? Then I'm like, what? But you don't know me. No, then he tells me, I saw your story and I would like to help you.
Yeah. That's wow.
He told me he would be sending me tuition through the rector of our seminary.
That's amazing.
He did it for 3 years.
Wow.
Then there was a certain lady who also sent me a friend request, and also because I was going to be ordained a deacon, and I was also doing another course, a master's degree in theology from Makerere University. I needed more money for it. A certain lady also, she's called Rebecca. Rebecca is still a friend of mine.
Yeah.
I've never seen her. We video call. I call her my mother because we met. She sent me a friend request. She also offered to help me with tuition for my master's, and also to help me with the basic needs I needed as a seminarian and a deacon to be. She's called Rebecca. She's from Kentucky.
Oh, wow. So it's amazing these people are willing to help. They've never met you. They just saw your story on Facebook. Is that right?
Oh, yes. They have never met me.
Yeah.
So what happened, I was ordained a deacon and then a priest. The miracle that I would like to share was a month before I was ordained a priest. The bishop took us for a 2 weeks retreat, a silent retreat. Like, I don't know if you get that, the retreat. Like,
so you can't talk at all. Is that what that is? You have to be completely silent.
Silent, but talking to Jesus in the Blessed Sacrament. We'll do prayers.
For 2 weeks.
We'll do for 2 weeks.
Okay.
Up to now, I love adoration and silent meditation.
Mm-hmm.
So 3 days to ordination. I was before the Blessed Sacrament. And I asked Jesus that, Lord, you know me very well. You know everything about me. You know my journey. Without you, I'm sure I wouldn't be what I'm going to be.
Yeah.
I asked Jesus in the Blessed Sacrament the type of priest, the kind of priest he would want me to be. Like, it was so funny, like posing all these questions to the Lord.
Yeah.
And I went to sleep after that question. I woke up at 3, said my prayers, I went back to the Blessed Sacrament. Asked the Lord again, what kind of a priest would you like me to become? And the voice clearly told me, the priest of mercy.
Oh, okay.
Now, all the stories, the people I was counseling those days, started coming.
Yeah.
All those, like there was a flashback of all these many people, poor people around me, and I'm supposed to extend God's mercy upon them.
Yeah.
The priest of mercy. So in the morning I shared it with my spiritual director, and he tells me, then you are called to be the priest of divine mercy.
Oh, okay.
Even on my ordination, my chasuble had the image of the divine mercy, and I began then.
Yeah.
That's when I began. And surprisingly, my appointment was related to that. I was appointed to the remotest parish in the diocese where people needed God's mercy most.
Yeah. So it was kind of like a place where you had come from originally.
No. This was like too remote.
Oh, it was even more more remote than where you grew up.
Exactly. Then people like most priests were like, no, the young man has been taken to the poorest parish. He's going to hate the priesthood. Then I told them, no, this is what I asked for. They said, no, did you go to the bishop and ask him that you should go to this remote poor parish? No, I told them I didn't ask the bishop, I asked the Lord.
Yeah.
And they said, no, you don't know what you're saying because this place is too poor. Why do you go to such a place? Yeah, I was very happy. I go to the place, so many poor children, everything was poor almost. They even didn't have a church.
Oh my gosh.
If you follow me on Facebook, I can even send you those pictures. We used to celebrate masses under the trees.
So you didn't even have a church?
We only had the main church, but then the parish was too big. Like we used to go to small Christian communities that didn't have churches. buildings, church buildings.
Yeah.
But there were people who loved God.
Yeah.
And I used to go with my musket, like you find people gathered in a small Christian community under the tree, and you would celebrate Mass from there.
That's really neat.
Yes, I used to walk long distances. It would rain on me, going to anoint the sick,
Yeah.
to pray for them, going to teach catechism. Long distances, like 3-4 miles walking.
Yeah.
And the roads were impassable. But I was very happy. Like I would tell God, I'm happy, I'm doing your will.
Yeah.
It's what I told me.
So when you heard the voice of God, how do you know it was the voice of God? How could you tell?
Good. In the seminary, in spiritual theology, our lecturer had taught us about discernment of voices.
Yeah.
And discernment of spirits. I had learned from him, like from his lecture, that God speaks in prayer.
Mm-hmm.
He speaks what is true, what is right, and what is for the common good. Now, the voice, like it did not come from the roof, like God is speaking, like no, it wasn't a voice that was external.
Yeah.
It was internal.
Yeah.
Like from my spirit, inner spirit, that consciousness that kept on telling me divine mercy. Like you feel something is talking to you. Somebody's talking to you inside, telling you divine mercy. I want you to be a priest of mercy.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't an external voice. Yes, it was.
But you could tell it was God. You were sure. You just felt that it was definitely God at that time.
I felt the peace, and I felt it was God because I had not heard about it before. So when I woke up at 3, I went before the Blessed Sacrament. Then the Divine Mercy Priest, I want you to be the Divine Mercy Priest, kept on coming.
Right.
Inside.
And you didn't know about Divine Mercy, like the whole thing. Like I don't know the whole thing, but Pat from the previous thing, that's the organization she's in. And what did she say? Father Cherubim, he started Divine Mercy back in, I forget what, but you didn't know about any of that stuff.
I didn't know anything about Divine Mercy.
Yeah.
I really didn't know. I even had not recited the chaplet of Divine Mercy.
So you didn't know about the chaplet or anything?
No,
I
didn't know.
It just came to
I
you.
only knew. Yes, I knew how to recite the Rosary.
Right.
Actually,
right.
I had never picked interest in it, and I only knew about Faustina and Divine. Like it was in the seminary training that I had little about it, but it was in my devotion.
Yeah.
And I had not read about it.
Yeah.
That night, that kept on coming to me.
Yeah.
Coming to me, Divine Mercy. I want you to be a priest of Divine Mercy. Like it kept on coming and coming. And that's what I called it.
So that was your calling, is Divine Mercy, and God sent you to a place. Well, you had experienced being merciful to all those people even before you were a priest in that hospital, and then you were sent to be merciful to all those poor people in your assignment.
Oh yes, and now, to conclude my story, because I've narrated almost everything from my childhood. Now I want to take you to where I am now. From that parish, so many children would come to me. Father, they would narrate almost the same story like my own story. They would tell me, Father, my dad died of HIV/AIDS. By the way, my father also died of HIV/AIDS.
Yeah.
So they would come and tell me the same stories about themselves, but the same story like mine.
Mm-hmm.
So they would come to me, my dad died, I would like to be in school, but I have no tuition. My dad and my mom died, I have nowhere to go. My dad and they are forcing me to go for marriage because they want bride price and I don't want to get married, I would like to go to school.
Yeah.
Like so many stories of children would come to me, and all these stories, like I didn't have money. Here in Uganda, as a priest, you are not entitled to any pay. The Christian communities contribute food for you, and that's all.
Yeah.
So I didn't know what to do. I would feel for these young children because I saw myself. Whenever they told me, I would really see myself telling the Italian priest.
Right.
I used to go for prayer and tell God, show me the way of how I can help these children like they helped me. Like you helped me through the Italian priests, through the people you sent me who have helped me. Show me the way. And that was my prayer to the Lord.
Yeah.
It was not answered until 2000, when an idea came of starting an organization, a community-based organization, and I called it Wind of Hope Initiative.
Okay.
Now, with this organization, I registered it with the government of Uganda so that it should be authentic. I had already befriended Pat.
Mm-hmm.
Through her, I got to know other friends of hers. I asked if it were possible to get somebody to open a website for the organization, for the community-based organization, so that we can share the stories of all these children. Maybe people could help us.
Yeah.
A friend, she's called Julie. She volunteered to open for us a website. I gave her all the information, and she did open the website. When I kept on sharing the stories on the ground, people would donate through the organization of Pat, Divine Mercy Organization.
Yeah.
Pat would send me the money, and the first thing I did was to build a school for the orphans.
Wow.
And the school, I called it Mary, Queen of Peace.
That's amazing.
I built the school in the remotest village where I went, where I was always asking God to show me the way.
Yeah.
So it was very hard to build because it's quite expensive. I did not have money. Friends would donate $50, $100. Then I would keep putting the money together. And so far, we have 4 classrooms that have been constructed from the donations of the American people.
Wow.
Those get through the organization of Divine Mercy.
Wow.
Then the donations come to me.
Yeah.
So we have 4 classrooms, and the school is going to begin in June this year.
Oh, so you just completed it, and this is the first year of its being opened. Wow.
Yes, because
that's so exciting.
Yes, so exciting. So in that school, I'm hoping that around 400 orphans are going to be given a chance to be there without paying tuition.
Wow, that is so great.
Apart from that, some friends also on Facebook, when I shared the need of there are people like mothers who, out of domestic violence and abuse, like are vulnerable, They have nothing to do, they have no money, they no longer have families, like their husbands have abandoned them, and they don't know what to do. So as I shared with my friends, I brought the idea of putting a skills center, a center that can skill them, those vulnerable youth and women, for them to earn a living for themselves. Out of their kindness, I got 8 sewing machines.
Oh, okay.
And already they have started learning tailoring, like how to do tailoring.
So these women that are, they don't have husbands and they're fleeing from domestic violence, you train them to make clothing and to do other things for the school. Oh, that's neat. And you're giving them a way to make money and to be safe then also.
Exactly.
Wow.
So that they can not, like, instead of being beggars, they can work and earn something for themselves.
That's really great.
And I called the initiative Wind of Hope Initiative. I can share my website with you after this.
Yeah, definitely. Well, just tell us, what is the website address?
It is, I'll share it with you, Wind of Hope Initiative Organization.
Okay.
And then something I forgot. Last year, a friend, there's a family in Canada. We became friends on Facebook. They used to follow me. They would follow what I do. And they picked interest. They are like, wow, you're doing a great job. I told them, it's not me. God's people are doing this through me.
Yeah.
They have, one of their sons is called Brandon, also picked interest. He was like, can I come there? Can I come to Uganda? Then I told him, yes. He was scared at first. He thought, what if this thing is not true? What if Father is not true? So I told him, no, I'm true. There's nothing, like, I'm true, and when you come, you are safe. So Brandon, we organized, actually it was 2019. So Brandon came in December. We arranged, I invited him. He came, I picked him from the airport here in Kampala, brought him this side where I stay. He was here for 3 weeks.
Wow, from Canada to Uganda.
I'll share the photos with you. I'll share his photos with you, his visit. So when he came, he was so excited. I took him to the villages. He saw exactly whatever I was posting on the ground. He was so excited. Ever since he went back, like, he has been talking about me. Yeah. And he started a project called Farm for the Future, where he solicits money from his friends. Then we keep buying goats. We have a small goats farm, and in this farm, it's like a demonstration farm.
Okay.
These children will be learning farming because it is exactly where the school is.
Oh, so that's something that people do in that village. They do goat farming or whatever.
So they will be learning how to do goat farming so that when they leave school, they can do that for their living.
Oh, that's neat.
And secondly, when they are many, like when those goats multiply, we can sell and the goats will support the school, like the money supports the running of the school.
Wow, you have some very creative ways of getting things done.
I believe it's God doing this, like, because I cannot imagine how these people came on board. Like, they have never met me.
Right.
But they believed in me. They didn't believe I was lying. Because there are so many liars on the internet.
Right.
So many scammers on the internet. But the way people put their faith in this work, in this ministry, you can see it's God who is inspiring them.
Right, making
So,
the connections and the introductions and the things to happen just at the right time when you need it, when you're praying for it. It's all, I mean, your whole story is amazing, because from just being a little kid sweeping the church to everything that has happened one step at a time is a really amazing story.
and now I'm taking care of children in 3 schools, 3 elementary schools.
Wow.
I'm taking care of children, and that school will be the 4th.
Oh, okay. So you already have 3 other schools, and now you're building this.
The 3 other schools are for the diocese.
Okay. And then this is your own school, this newest one.
Yeah. This is why I started that school. The diocese only allows Catholics.
Okay.
In the school where I'm appointed.
Yeah.
As the head teacher.
Yeah.
So, and yet, I never wanted to change the diocesan law.
Yeah.
So what I did, I thought of non-Catholics who are orphans.
Yeah.
And also in need of help. They
Right.
have no tuition.
Right.
They are vulnerable. So in my heart, I'm like, how can we help them?
Yeah.
So Mary, Queen of Peace is for all. It's not only for Catholics, but it's for all.
That's great. Yeah.
So it welcomes all, because a vulnerable child, whether Protestant, whether Anglican, whether Muslim, I think needs help.
Yeah. Yeah. That's really great.
Yeah,
wow. You're doing amazing things from your humble beginnings, and just asking God and Him providing all the way through. It's a really, really amazing story.
You're welcome. And maybe lastly, I have started Divine Mercy prayer groups in all the schools.
Oh, that Divine Mercy chaplet and the singing and everything.
Oh, yes.
Oh,
so all the schools,
that's really neat.
Yeah, they have the initiator of Divine Mercy prayer groups, and the kids now know how to recite the chaplet. They know how to sing. We participated in the Divine Mercy Challenge with Pat and the Foundation of Jesus Divine Mercy Foundation. So my children were part of other children in the whole world who participated in.
That's cool. You're doing really, really wonderful, great, amazing things. It's really remarkable.
So I pray that the Lord should continue being kind to us, so that we add more classes for that school in the remote village.
Yeah.
So that it can aid so many.
Yeah. Because
the numbers are many. 4 classes cannot be enough. But of course, we begin with what we can manage.
Yeah. Yeah. And you just keep praying and keep working, and you just have faith that God will keep providing and leading you where He wants things to go.
Yes. And I would like also I cannot forget to thank all the people of God. I am so grateful, because there are so many. There are so many. Some want to remain anonymous. Others send me messages. They send me support. Some do it through Divine Mercy Organization, but others do it directly. They use my account. They use Western Union. Some people do it monthly. Some people send me $100 per month. I'm telling you, it has changed many lives.
Yeah.
I have provided water to that remote village.
Yeah.
Through that money I receive. So the people used to use dirty water.
Yeah.
Very dirty.
Right.
And they suffer from waterborne diseases. But currently, I have bought water tanks for over 10 villages.
Wow.
So we harvest rainwater, it goes into those tanks, and we treat it.
Yeah.
So that it is safe for drinking and for washing and bathing and all that.
Wow. That's something we take for granted, but to have clean water, that's wonderful.
Yeah, it's scarce. Water is scarce here.
Yeah.
Secondly, we provide food for the most vulnerable, especially the elderly who have been neglected and the young children who have been abandoned. Almost weekly, I provide food for them. Then I provide the basic needs to those families as well.
Yeah.
They are called OBCs. In the organization, we have registered those families. They are called orphans and vulnerable children and other vulnerable groups of people.
Yeah.
So we provide food for them. We provide clothing. We provide soap, salt, and other basic needs of life.
Yeah. That's wonderful.
For them to survive,
Yeah.
or else they would die.
Yeah.
So we help them survive. Then we do workshops. We call people for conferences. Young people, young men and women, we sensitize them on hygiene. We sensitize them on value of life, control of HIV/AIDS, to abstain from sex before marriage and all that.
Mm-hmm.
So safe living and all that.
Yeah.
Teach families, avoid domestic violence. So the organization is doing.
Wow, that's really amazing. You're doing so much, and for all these people that need help, it's amazing. So yeah, I would encourage anyone that's listening to this. I'm going to give the link, and they can see how they can help you too. I mean, and send money, and you're doing amazing things there. It's really wonderful.
Thank you so much, and I'm happy that you have heard my story.
Yeah, thank you for sharing it. It's really amazing, from sweeping as a little kid with just praying to go to school, and then and all the way up to what you're doing now, all the work you're doing now. It's really, really wonderful.
Thank you so much. My heart already wants to take all these kids to school, because in them I see myself.
Yeah.
If I had not gone to school, then that means if they had not helped me, I would never have gone to school. So since I can also help and ask other people to help, then I feel I should do that even more.
Yeah. Yeah, because you were one of those kids that you're helping now, so you can sympathize with what they're feeling, and that's great. To take something that you needed and how you were helped, and then help others, and that's something we should all learn from. Is like, maybe we had a struggle or a problem, and we asked for a prayer, and we were helped, and now we should do the same for others that are in our same condition, and that's wonderful. And you've taken to a degree that it's just really amazing.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I'll share most of the photos of my story with you.
Okay.
Because I have lots of them. Yeah.
Okay.
I'll share the video of Brandon. I'll share the masses I celebrated under the trees. I'll share the villages. I'll share what I'm doing right now. I'll share the progress that we are making, and you can even get all that from the link.
Okay. Yeah, we'll definitely do that and post it. Well, thank you so much, Father. It was great talking to you, and thank you so much for sharing your story.
You're so much welcome. Thank you for your time. And I can't fail to say that you are also God sent, because like, how could I have gotten this publicity? How could I have told this to many other people without you?
Yeah.
So I thank God for bringing Pat to know me and to know her, for me to know her. And through Pat, I've known you. So I can't take it for granted. I believe it does not come by accident.
Yeah.
There is a reason, and I believe it's a good reason, and there's a reason God has connected us. May His will be done.
Yes. Yes, definitely. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Okay, what an amazing story. You can be part of the miracle of helping poor children in Uganda by visiting the website for Father Bomukama's Wind of Hope Initiative at wohinitiativeug.org. If you have a miracle story, call in and leave a message, 412-446-0330, or visit miraclehotline.com. If you believe you experienced a miracle and you truly believe it in your heart, we would like to hear from you. If your story is compelling enough, we will play it on the podcast and we may even interview you. The Miracle Hotline podcast is sponsored by Imagine Audio and Media for all of your audio and video production, voiceovers, and CD and DVD duplication. Visit imagineaudiomedia.com. This has been the Miracle Hotline podcast. My name is Dino Pandolfo. Please give us a call at 412-446-0330 with your miracle story, or visit miraclehotline.com. Thanks for listening, and please call in.